Michigan is in the midst of a coaching search, and depending on what you believe, this game in Norman here might have an impact on the ultimate decision that the Wolverines and one of their candidates make after Sherrone Moore was fired for cause. It has been quite a path for Sherrone Moore. In September of 23, suspended for recruiting violations, but then went 4-0 as interim head coach when Jim Harbaugh was serving suspensions. Named Michigan head coach after the Wolverines won the national championship. Spent a couple of games on the sidelines, or rather suspended from the sidelines, for the sign-stealing investigation. Biff Poggi stepped in, led Michigan to a couple of victories, and then just a few days ago, fired for inappropriate relationship with the staffer, later arrested by police, charged with third-degree felony home invasion and a couple of misdemeanors. So Poggi is once again called on to shepherd the Wolverines through a tumultuous time as they get ready to play Texas in the Citrus Bowl.
It has been a tumultuous time, and a lot of, anger, and then, first disbelief, then anger, then really what we're in right now is the phase of, the kids, quite frankly, feel very betrayed, and we're trying to work through that. It's been complicated. I want to listen to them. I want to understand what the kids are feeling and what their parents are feeling, and so a lot of listening. And there's been a wide range of emotions, as you can imagine, and we've kind of are going through those steps. They're not over yet, and I don't expect them to be over for a while, quite frankly.
Poggi connecting with players is really how he built his reputation as a high school coach, and he's stepping in and doing it at Michigan again right now. Kirk, your son Chase is on the team. What has this been like? What's been your reaction to the way Michigan's handled it from a parent's perspective and your position in college football?
For me, it's been interesting. I've just been on a bunch of Zooms with the rest of the parents, listening in and trying to watch Biff Poggi try to navigate these uncharted waters. It's been obviously a very difficult set of circumstances, something that not only Biff but the entire staff didn't expect this, didn't ask for this, and now they're put in this situation. I'll just say as a parent, I've been blown away by Biff Poggi and what he's done. You guys know him. Not necessarily surprised by that, but this is a difficult set of circumstances outside of Schembechler Hall. But what he's done to be able to pull this team together, almost like a father figure to me, and the staff, these guys, a lot of these guys, who knows who the next head coach is going to be? Maybe some will stay, maybe some are going to be looking for other jobs. Meanwhile, they're trying to continue to get ready for Texas. So I just want to say as a parent, I salute University of Michigan for how they've been able to try to keep this thing together, especially Biff and the entire staff, the coordinators. Des, I know you'd be very proud of what's going on there. Yeah. And now they got to go, like I said, get ready. These players are trying to lock in and block out all that noise. So I tip my cap to them and see how looking forward to seeing how they play against Texas.
Yeah, I've watched Biff and the staff try to come together, circle the wagons, and try to handle a very difficult situation. I was profoundly disappointed when it first came out. It was a very tumultuous week for everybody associated with not only the football program, but the school in general. I think that moving forward, Biff has pretty much struck the right tone, what you're looking for in an interim coach. Now it just goes to the AD, Ward Manuel, and the people who need to find the search committee to find a new head coach to try to bring back the old Michigan values. I think that's probably the most disappointing thing out of this whole situation, because there's a standard that University of Michigan holds itself to, and obviously it wasn't met. And now they've got to try to right this ship and get things back on track, Coach.
Well, I think that, when we represent a university, we're very much in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
The visibility is total 100%. We all have a responsibility and obligation to hold up that standard. You went to a great university. University of Michigan's a great place. I think Biff has done a marvelous job in the way he's handled this, because he's put the focus on the players and stayed with the players to get the players to come together. And I know that, Michigan's a first-class institution, and I know that they'll come out of this, in some kind of positive way. But I hope that we all learn something, all of us that represent institutions, that we got to do it in a first-class way, because it's bigger than any of us, and we all have a responsibility and obligation to be first-class in how we do it.
Pete Thamel joins us right now. Pete, as it stands, though, Michigan has to find a football coach. Where does that stand?
Sources tell me that Michigan officials remain convicted that they want to attempt to hire Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer. The result of tonight's game is going to factor heavily into that pursuit, as an Alabama loss would make the logistics of attempting to hire DeBoer much more tenable. Look, Kalen DeBoer said publicly this week he'll be the coach at Alabama next year. I've been told by sources that Alabama officials behind the scene have worked aggressively to try to sign Kalen DeBoer to a new deal. Michigan officials aren't solely focused on DeBoer. As I've been told by sources, they've had a handful of exploratory conversations with different candidates this week. The hiring pool, if it's not DeBoer, sources have told me, would involve Kenny Dillingham of Arizona State, Eli Drinkwitz of Missouri, and Washington's Jed Fish. The timing could be tricky. Two of those coaches, Dillingham and Drinkwitz, have post-Christmas bowls. Obviously, the transfer portal opens up on January 2nd. There's players like Bryce Underwood who are worrying what's going to happen. But I really think, Rece, one of the biggest factors in this search is going to be what that scoreboard says tonight after the Alabama-Oklahoma game, and that's going to set the tone for the direction of where this search goes.
And Pete, let's make it clear. There are people out there saying, if Alabama loses, that they're going to cut him loose. That's not happening. If this happens, this is strictly DeBoer's decision, if that is indeed what he decides or thinks about.
I mean, we just had these conversations with LSU, Florida, and certainly Penn State. A lot of these similar names were linked to Penn State. Penn State has all the access to money, just like Michigan does. But Michigan, obviously, a little bit more storied with the recent national championships. They think everybody's on the table except for those who just signed. But you talk about the Kalen DeBoer story right now. I mean, it's everywhere. This guy got a lit-up sign right here that says Kalen DeBoer after this game is going to Michigan. And that's strictly because they believe Oklahoma's about to beat Alabama here in prime time. And Kalen DeBoer is going to have an easier exit to go ahead and get out of Alabama because, following in Coach Saban's shoes has always been something that people have talked about with Kalen. But it's crazy. Kenny Dillingham just got emotional talking about how much Arizona State means to him and how much he appreciates the opportunities there. Drinkwitz had to do this entire thing with Missouri. It's a crazy situation, this college football coaching, especially with some of these jobs like Michigan opening up. Just like we said with Penn State, we got to assume everybody's on the table for them, but maybe Biff Poggi's the right guy at this stage. I mean, like, from everything I'm hearing from what you're saying.
Get some coordinators. He's the head guy, and away you go. I think Dez, who lived it, nobody knows it obviously better than Dez. To me, Michigan's always felt different. And, Coach, you played against them when you were at Michigan State. It's not just good enough to win. It's a certain way they go about their business. The Michigan man. It's about, we're going to beat you on the field and we're going to beat you in the classroom. A sense of integrity. So I don't think you just throw out the hottest name. I think it's about a fit. And Matt Campbell's a great fit at Penn State. Who is the guy that's going to be a great fit? Maybe Biff Poggi is the right fit, and you go out and get coordinators. But that's, to me, this isn't just about, hey, let's go find a guy that's going to make us all win games. I mean, obviously, that's great. But to me, it's how you do it is as important as winning the game.
And don't even think about taking Rich Rodriguez again, buddy. Okay? Don't even think about it.
It wasn't going to be Rich. It's the guy to your left.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we can come up with some cash and Mr. Terry be okay with it.
Yeah.
But no, you hit it on the head. It's about the integrity. It's about a standard. And that's what it's always been as far as the Michigan man, the Michigan way. And it's going to be tough, but it's one of the most highly, despite everything you see in the media, everything that's happening in Ann Arbor, the University of Michigan head football coaching job is one of the most highly coveted positions in all of college sports. So they'll be able to get a good guy.
As a Michigan guy, what characteristic are you looking for the most? What's the most important thing in the next coach to you?
I'm just old school, so I want someone that's like disciplined, discipline-oriented, fundamentally sound, a guy who understands that academics is as important, if not more important, than athletics. Just those old, Bo Schembechler type of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nick Saban.
Yeah,
Man.
it is.
Hey, listen, at this point, you're going to get the boosters all behind you, bro.
He just bought a hockey team.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the hockey team's down.
You want character and integrity and somebody who's going to set a great example for the players and provide the leadership to help them be more successful in their life, not just in football. But let me just say one thing. Kalen DeBoer has the total and complete support of the University of Alabama. They want him to be the coach at Alabama. Maybe
No
they
matter
can get him
what
at
this
Michigan.
sign.
I don't know.
No matter what these signs are, with the lights on them.
Real quick. Dez just said it's still a premier job, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Top 5 job, top 3. What would you say Michigan job is?
Top 5.
Top 5 job.
Easy.
Yeah.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance.